Hey everybody, it's Reviews and More back with a quick review. This is on some outdoor solar mood lighting, or I call them spooky lights because it's getting close to Halloween. But this is effectively some solar lights, and what they do is they kind of flicker an orange, nice glow. Great for Christmas, great for ambient light, and they're solar powered, so there's no need to recharge, no need to replace bulbs, and it's kind of nice. So before we jump into all the PC parts, as always, please hit the like and subscribe button if you want to see more content like this, or leave a comment. That also helps out the channel as well. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Okay, so the obvious thing we want to talk about first is the price. Currently on Amazon, I'll put the link in the description to help you all out. It's $53 with a 10% off like internal coupon through Amazon, so you'll pay roughly like 50, maybe 51, 52 with tax, depending on where you're located, obviously. But that puts it at about $12.50 up per light. You get 4 in a pack. And that might sound kind of expensive for a set of mood lighting, but what's cool about these is they come with 2-foot tall stainless steel extenders that come in 2 pieces. So if you want to make them kind of short lights, you can make them about 1 foot tall. If you want to make them a little taller, you can put both portions in. It's also an all steel construction. The poles are steel. There's an aluminum stake that's a little hefty, and the lighting themselves are plastic. So I shouldn't have said all steel construction. Pardon me for saying that. But they are made of very rigid material. They've already survived one major rainstorm way out here in North Carolina. We had a big one come through, and they survived it just fine. And you're going to see them being tested in just a few moments. So overall, my review is going to be very positive on these. It's simple to put them together. The tubing is just put in there with simple friction points. I will say this, when you put the stakes into the bottom of the stainless steel tubes, those don't want to come out. Once they're in, they're pretty much stuck in there. So just be aware of that as you're doing it. There isn't much reason to keep the stakes out of them unless you're using them, unless you have to store the lights for some reason. But if you want to take the main steel pieces off the actual light itself, that's pretty easy to do. But once the stake's in there, it's in there pretty tight. That's the only thing I want to warn you about. And here's how you make sure the light turns on. You just twist it open at the top, and you see the LED filament right there. There's the solar panel on top, and on the bottom you'll see a switch that'll say continuous. You see it turning on there because the light sensor is getting dark enough just to where it turns on. You see the little sensor there. You can turn it on for continuous, and it's rated for about 10 hours on a full charge for that, or on flickering, where it's rated for about 30 hours. It's only about 40 lumens at its brightest, so it really is not meant to cast a lot of light to actually light area. It's more of an ambient, decorative kind of light to make an area look kind of nice. And just for my purposes, you're going to see a very spooky Halloween setup, a bunch of pumpkins and some, I think at least one fell over during the thing. So you'll see my messed up front porch. But that's basically how they glow right there. And they'll come out of the box turned off, so just be aware of that. So you might have to actually get them turned back on. They come with a little bit of a charge on them, but that's obviously not guaranteed. I'd let them sit out for at least a day before you set them up finally. That way you can make sure that they look nice and they won't kind of burn out on you. Depends on how long they've been in packaging typically. So here's the actual stakes themselves. They're aluminum construction, and as I mentioned earlier, once you get the stakes into that steel tube, it's going to be a tough nut to get out. So they're designed, I think, to stay in there permanently once they're in. I'm sure if you really torque it around and really start pulling, you'll probably get it out there, but be careful because stakes are sharp. You don't want to stab yourself when you pull it. So just be aware of that. But as long as they're in there, I don't think there's really much of a reason safety-wise to store them. But you have multiple options. You can use the connectors to give the full length, because each lamp has 2 steel rods with it, so you can make them tall or short. They end up being about maybe 2.5 to almost 3 feet tall by the time you account for the length of the light itself. And obviously, you can't really cut it down. Although I'm sure in theory you could probably go to a hardware store and find tubing that would be close to the same diameter and probably get a custom height if you desired so. But this is the main reason why they're a little more expensive at $12 a pop or $12.50 a pop, depending on what the discount is. It's all the extra metal, as well as just the fact that it's designed to be up a little higher and not just be stuck in the ground. And there you see my house. You see some flickering lights in the actual sconces next to the doors. Those are some solar lights that I bought a while ago, and they're my Halloween lights. And here you go, got the spooky setup. And you can see here, they do not cast much light at distance. They're really meant to be ambient kind of light. They're not really made to put out light in a pathway. So I wouldn't use these as pathway lights necessarily, but they make for great mood lighting, great decorative lighting, and we're really happy with them. And the brand is Xmosi, and I'll put the link in the description. If you like the video, hit the like button and have a great day. Thanks for watching.